Alright, welcome to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be doing June wrap up. So I read 7 books in the month of June. Let's talk about them. So first book I read in the month of June was The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. This is the Fairy Loot edition, which I'm obsessed with. I loved this book. I gave it 4.5. I have read Rachel Gillig's other books and honestly for me they weren't my favourite. I don't know whether I read them at the wrong time because I enjoyed like the premise but I didn't connect. But to this I absolutely loved. I loved our characters, I loved the plot, I loved the storyline, I loved how it was paced. I literally loved everything about this book. I gave it 4.5. I generally cannot wait for the next book and I want it in my hands so bad, and if they do a fairy edition of that as well I will 100% be getting my hands on it because I'm obsessed with this. I think it's absolutely stunning and I'm so happy that this was the adult subscription for May. If you are wondering, this was the adult May subscription book and I'm so happy that it was in there. I was very nervous because I did guess that this was probably going to be that book for the box and I was a bit nervous because obviously I didn't love her other two, but this I was absolutely obsessed with and I'm so happy that I read it and I absolutely ate this book up and I seriously, like I said, I literally want book 2 so bad. Next book I read within the month of June is The Floating World by Axio. This was also May's book, but this was the YA one. So this is it. It is also a stunning edition of this book. I did really enjoy this book. I enjoyed the plot. I didn't connect to the characters very much. I didn't love them and I've kind of decided I'm not going to read the sequel, but I enjoyed the book and how it went, but I'm not invested enough to continue the series. But I really enjoyed this. If you enjoy things that are kind of a bit like the forces of like dark and light and kind of stuff like that, I think you would really enjoy this. In this book we're following our main character Soon Ho, who lives in the underworld, which is a land of darkness, and we're also following Ren, who is a spirited acrobat that travels across the world with her family, but her family is then attacked by demons and she goes on an adventure to try and find the cure for her uncle, basically. But I did really enjoy this and I think this edition of it is stunning, but unfortunately it wasn't 100% for me. I gave it 3 stars, which like I said, it's still a good book. I still would recommend it, but it wasn't quite me. Then I read Captain of Fates by Catherine Weber. This is the 4th book in the Twin Crowns series. So in the first 3 books in the Twin Crown series we are following Rose and Ren, and they are long lost twins and witches, and I don't really want to go too much into it, but this is the 4th book and in this book we're actually following we're following 2 different characters. We're following Marino, who is a ship captain, and we're following a girl called Lana. So that's how this one is. I did really enjoy this. For what it was, I gave it a 3.5 star. I very much went into this book thinking it was going to be a quick, easy read, and that was exactly what it was. I finished it super fast. This is the Waterstones edition, so it has like ship wheels and no, it has like compasses and waves on the side. But I did really enjoy this and I'm definitely going to pick up the next book, which is another standalone that's set in the Twin Crowns world. I will be picking that up when that comes out. Then I read The Traitor Queen by Danielle L. Jensen. This is the 2nd book in the British Kingdom series. I did really enjoy this. I really enjoyed the 1st book, so I thought I would go into this and really enjoy it. I gave it a 4.5. I really liked our 2 main characters in the first 2 books, which are Lara and Aaron, and I did really like that, and I really enjoyed the plot, and I'm very excited to continue with the British Kingdom series. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Again, I don't want to say too much because it is the 2nd book in a, I think, 6-book series. Then I read Grumpy Darling by Alexandra Moody. This is the 2nd book in think it's the Darling Brothers series. I'm not sure, but in this book we are following our two main characters, Paige and Grayson, and he is so grumpy and she is like a ball of sunshine, and I absolutely love them. This is very much Grumpy Sunshine ice hockey romance. If you're looking for that, it's super easy to read. It's got no spice if you don't want that. And yeah, honestly, I really enjoyed this one a lot more than I enjoyed the first one, which was Rival Darling, which I read last month. I gave this one a 4-star. I really like this one, and I cannot wait to see if and when we get our next book. I read Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I mainly audiobooked this, to be honest. I find it a lot easier to audiobook the Harry Potter books, but this was the last book in the series I have to reread before finally going into 4, 5, 6 and 7. I've watched all the films, but really enjoyed this for what it was. It's very nostalgic for me because I really love the films, so I gave this a 4.5, and I really did enjoy it. I'm not going to say too much because literally everyone's heard of Harry Potter, and if you haven't, have you been living under a rock? And then the final book that I read this month was The Stars Dying by Chloe C. Penaranda. This is the first book in the Nightfall series, I think. I think it's called Nightfall, but I really enjoyed this one. In this one, we're following our two main characters, Astera. We're following our main character, Astera, as she escapes something, life as she's ever known, and ends up going essentially into this trial, and she is trying to figure out who she is, basically. I really enjoyed this. I love like stars and stuff in books, and this is very much like celestial, and her name's Astera and stuff, and I really like this. I'm very excited to pick up the next book in the series, which is The Night is Defying, I'm pretty sure, but I'm probably going to pick that up in July because I really want to. But I really enjoyed this, and I'm definitely going to continue the series. I have to read this and then the next book in the series, and then I can finish off the And Here Comes Rise series by Chloe C. Penaranda. But yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I give it a 4-star, and I definitely see potential for the next book in the series to be like a 5-star. They are the 7 books that I ended up reading in the month of June. Let me talk to you about my July TBR. So this month, once again, I got my friend to choose my TBR. She went through my Goodreads and chose 6 books. So let me talk you through them. She did a really good job at choosing these, and they're all ones that have like been on my radar. I'm like, I need to read that. So hopefully I get to all of these in the month of July. So starting off, she chose Wings of Starlight, which she actually also chose last time when she picked my TBR for May, I think. But this is Wings of Starlight by Alison Schaff. If you didn't know, this is set in the Tinkerbell universe, but this is before. So this is Queen Clarion and Lord Mallory's story, and I'm so excited because growing up watching those films, you know. And she also picked The Witchleys by Annalise Avery. This is a YA witch book. From what I know, this follows Aurella as she's entering her debutante season as a witch, and there's balls and trials and everything, and I just think this is going to be very much up my alley. It kind of reminds me of The Rose Bargain, but instead of with fae, it's with witches. So I think I'm going to really enjoy this. Next book she chose was The Baby Dragon Cafe. I have been meaning to get to this book since it came out in January, and I've still not got to it. And this is just I'm pretty sure it's a romance. So it's about a girl called Sapphire who opens a cafe for customers with pet baby dragon kids. And she doesn't expect it to be quite so hard with always baby dragons making flames and having to put flames out. But local heartthrob Aiden is a gardener, and his very disobedient dragon is a major distraction. So Sapphire's Cafe gives him an idea. He asks her to train his dragon and pay her enough to keep the cafe afloat. So I'm very excited to read this. I think it's going to be such a cute, easy read. Next book she chose for me to read is The Inadequate Heir by Danielle L. Jensen. This is the third book in the Bridge Kingdom series. As I was saying, I really enjoyed the first book and I really enjoyed the Traitor Queen. So at this point I'm going to be picking up one a month till I finish the series. I'm really excited to read this. In this one we're following a new couple. We're following Zara and I think it's Keris. I think we're following Zara and Keris. I'm very excited to hop into their story. And then the next book she chose is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. She's also put this on so many TBRs. I've put this on so many TBRs. I've been meaning to read this book since I finished The 7 Year Slip, and that was like end of last year. So we have The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. In this book we are following Florence, who is a ghostwriter with a problem. She's supposed to be heading Swoon-worthy novels for a famous romance author, but she has a bad breakup. She no longer believes in love, and that's when she finds a strict but hot new editor who refuses to give her an extension on her book line. But tragedy strikes, and when she heads home, the last thing she expects is to see a ghost at her front door. Not just any ghost, but her new editor. So I'm so excited to pick this up. I think I'm going to really enjoy this. I really like Ashley Poston's writing. I've read A Novel Love Story and I've read The 7 Year Slip. The 7 Year Slip was a 5-star. A Novel Love Story was a 4.5. I honestly have such high expectations for this, and I think I'm going to really enjoy this. And I want to read that so I can read her new book that's just come out. Something, music, something, I don't know. But her new book. And then the 6th and final book she chose for me is Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. Again, she actually bought me this book, so that's probably why she chose it. But in this book, I've been meaning to get to this for so long. I wanted to read it when it was indie, and I just didn't get around to buying it, and I didn't get around to reading it, but I now have it. And in this book, we are following Elowyn, who's a princess who fears the power of his daughter, as she can soul bond with dragons, but basically years later she now wants to free her dragons from her dad, and she has established a queendom of her own, and she's ready at whatever is necessary to save her people from starvation and seek vengeance against her father. This sounds very much up my street. I think I'm going to really enjoy this, and what can go wrong? Enemies to lovers with dragons, surely nothing can go wrong, and I think I'm going to really enjoy this. But they are the 6 books. They are the 6 books that are on my June TBR. No. They're the 6 books that are on my July TBR, and I very much am hoping that I will actually read them all, because your girl has yet to fully complete a TBR this year, and we're on TBR 7, so hopefully we can finish my TBR for the year. But once again, they're going in my to be read basket from Dumblon Club, and yeah, wow. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in my next one. If you watched the end of the video, comment a purple heart emoji, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.